Welcome to the 195th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we will be talking about it. Today we are recording on August 29th, 2020. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the guy who's always on time, Carlos Rodella. How you doing, Carlos?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Very excited to be recording with you tonight. Looking forward to the hot takes we're about to drop.
Ooh, hot takes on video games. And I don't know if I'm always on time, but I think I might be.
As long as you think you are, then you are. That's all that matters, I guess.
That makes it real.
Oh, man. You know, there's actually lots of different kinds of time. I mean, it really depends on the culture you're in, the part of the world you're in. I mean, sometimes some cultures are pretty laid back and relaxed. Some are not. It's really interesting. You know, I lived in Hawaii for a while, and there's definitely such a thing as Hawaii time. And I work with a lot of people who are deaf, and there's definitely a deaf time, which is pretty similar to Hawaii time. I think got some stuff in common between those two groups. But I know there's lots of different kinds of time. But here on the So Video Games podcast, we are on game time.
Game time, and it's time to game. But before we get into it, also time is a man-made construct, and it doesn't exist.
Very true. Very true. So let's disregard all record keeping, all watches.
Yep.
I'm going to disable the chronometer on my phone. We're just going to just live life in the moment.
Yes, that's the best way to do it.
Let's do it. Starting right now, Carlos. Starting right now with a little bit of housekeeping to kick off the show. I don't have anything on my agenda. I believe you've got a couple items.
I have two items. The first off is I just want to say thanks to everybody who got involved in our free episode.
Yeah.
Very happy that we were able to pull that off and to give away a bunch of games to people, and everyone was really excited, and we got a ton of replies on Twitter. Some of our highest Twitter organic impressions, if you're caring about that, if you're keeping track at home, which I know everybody is, they're like, I can't wait till I get more Twitter organic impressions.
Everybody's on the edge of their seat.
They were waiting for it, but no, it just meant that a lot of people were engaging with the episode. And that's awesome to hear. And we're going to do another one because it was so successful, and also just because I love helping out people and getting them video games.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think we have anything booked, but maybe like give me another month or two to rack up some codes, and maybe like closer to Christmas time or something, we'll maybe do some kind of holiday Festivus winter solstice giveaway or some shit.
Ooh, that sounds good. And also, I have some contacts. I get games. I'm not part of the Game Critics crew. Well, I kind of am.
You're adjacent.
I'm a satellite. I'm in the satellite
You're
office.
related. You're like a what do they call it? Like what is it? Shirt tag cousin or something like that?
I've never heard that.
There's a term. Oh, I can't remember the term. It's not very used very much, but like every once in a while.
Twice removed?
No, it's not that. I'm gonna look at it. Anyway, I'm gonna look at it. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, I'm in the satellite office of Game Critics where there's no power, and I just get like, you know, a tuna fish sandwich every like 4 or 5 days. But I also
that sandwich is fresh, brother. It's a good sandwich.
It is a fresh sandwich. But I do have my own ways to get free codes from being in gaming press and stuff. So I get sent a bunch of them. So I could make that as part of the free episode as well. So look forward to that later, and we'll do another one.
Shirt tail relative is what it is. That's when you are like related to somebody, but it's kind of distant and weird, and you don't quite know exactly what the relationship, but you're pretty sure you're family. Shirt tail relative.
That is funny.
There you go.
Okay, well, second piece of housekeeping is, so I was on Twitter and talking about Ultima because there was someone posting about Ultima 4 and just some histories about it. And if you know me, listen to the podcast. I'm a big fan of Ultima series. And I just kind of got talking to people and mentioned the idea that back in the day, we had found this hack for Ultima 7, one of my favorite games of all time. And I was able to actually like pick up parts of the land and put them in my backpack. Have I told that story before?
I've never heard this story before. Are you pulling my leg, or is this a real thing?
No. Okay, so I'll tell the shortened version of the story, and then this is how I got started talking to a bunch of Ultima fans on Twitter, and then something really cool came out of it. So the short version of the story is we found a hack. It was a website back in the day, and we printed out all the information on how to hack Ultima 7. We had a little booklet. And I, for the longest time, had this booklet. I don't think I could find it anymore. And it was a batch file or some other command line tools before Ultima started running on your PC to add this hack. and the hack allowed me to have a backpack that could pick up sprites in the game. So I could pick up anything. Like, it didn't matter what if it was a
That
dog.
sounds really, really like meta.
It was pretty intense, dude. That's why I tell the story. But anyways, I picked up anything I wanted, including objects and pieces of ground or whatever. And whenever I put them on my backpack, it would keep it there. And whenever I went somewhere else, I could drop it down, and like essentially like a map editor, right?
Okay.
But the coolest part of this story is I was able to pick up an NPC. I remember picking up a baker who, like, back then, and I think some games still do this now, had a routine, right? So he woke up in the morning, went to bake bread, went back home at night, did a couple things, and went to bed. And so I picked him up, put him in my backpack, and then went to my own little castle that I was building and put him down in the kitchen, and he went right to work.
So he stole this. You kidnapped this guy from his place of business, brought him to your dungeon, and put him to work making baguettes for you in your own private castle?
Well, that's a very interesting way to put it. It wasn't a dungeon. He was in a kitchen, and that's how he knew how to go back to work.
That's crazy. So he had his own little individual script then,
yes.
And it didn't really matter what location he was in. As long as he had the kitchen items that his script required, he would just go to work.
Yeah. Anyways, I would like to maybe even make a whole, like, I don't know, some sort of series about it or talk about it more. But it got people really excited on Twitter. And so then I found someone who just written a book or wrote a book a little while ago and is writing a second one, Andrea Cantato. And he's a couple years younger than me. And he wrote a book called Through the Moon Gate, Part 1, The Story of Richard Garriott, Origin Systems, and Ultima. So I bought it. And I'm really excited because it comes in the mail in a few days, and he sent me the ebook version. And if you are like me and excited about the story I just said, or in general Ultima, go check out the book. I'm really excited.
Interesting. All right, cool. Excellent. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing that stuff. I have nothing on my housekeeping. I think we're going to change it up a little bit today. I think we're going to probably finish big with you, so that's going to rearrange the script. If it's all right with you, I'm going to start off with just a couple really quick hits.
Yeah, let's do it. I got my Ultima story in there, so I'm content.
So you're satisfied with this episode. Whatever else happens, who cares? Because you got the Ultima story out.
I'm leaving.
You're done. All right. A lot of Switch stuff this week. In fact, I think it's all Switch stuff for me this week. All Switch all the time. First, want to give a shout out to a game called Helheim Hassle. It's Helheim, the way that the Vikings would spell it, or like in Norse mythology. This is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle game where you play I guess you're like a Viking, I suppose, who gets killed. And I'm going to skip the story stuff. It doesn't really matter that much. But the point of the game is that you can disassemble your body into various pieces. You have like your torso, your head, both arms, and both legs. And you can disassemble yourself and reassemble yourself in different ways in order to get through the puzzles. So like, for example, let's say you got to get through a gate. You're too big to fit through the gate, but there's like maybe a small hole through the bars. You like disassemble your head and your arm, and then you attach your head to your arm, so it's like a head on an arm, and the arm is kind of crawling with the head on it, and it gets through the gate, and you flip the switch with your arm on the other side, open the gate, and then you go back and reattach your parts to the rest of your body. So all sorts of little puzzles like that. Sometimes you got to throw a piece of yourself super high up in order to get it over something. Sometimes you got to combine yourself in weird ways, like 2 legs and an arm, or 2 legs and a head or something. Like, you mix and match your bits in order to kind of get through each puzzle. Pretty interesting. I mean, I've seen some other games kind of do similar takes, but I think this is a really good one. Really solid. The art is really colorful and bright. It feels really polished. And the good thing is that it's very good writing. I laugh a lot with this game. I believe there's a demo. Somebody told me they played a demo. I don't know if it's on the Switch eShop or if it's on PC, but there's definitely a demo out there somewhere. And it gives you a really good flavor of like the first chunk of levels and the writing. The writing is really good. It's you and a friend of yours. Her name is Pesto. And the two of you kind of go back and forth. She's like really like acerbic and sarcastic, and you're kind of like more easygoing and positive. And the two of you guys have a really good vibe, and they just have a lot of like funny jokes, and the jokes are in between the silly situations that you're doing. Game does not take itself seriously. It's really lighthearted, really goofy, and I think it's really fun. I'm in the middle of it right now. Have not finished it, but I really am enjoying my time with it. If you are in the mood for a 2D puzzle platformer sort of thing that has a really good sense of humor, I'm digging Helheim Hassle. I think it's pretty cool.
I am so excited you got to play it, and I have a question for you because I watched a bunch of demos and just kind of teasers about it during Gamescom.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I was biting my tongue to hear what you had to say about it, and then say this. I really, really liked the comedy that I saw.
Yeah, it's good.
And it reminded me of a bunch of different, like, funny cartoons I would watch. And so I'm wondering, it seems like it is pretty story heavy then, right? Like, what would you say ratio puzzle to, like, being told story that's funny?
I mean, it's kind of like 50-50, but in the sense that you're constantly doing puzzles, but at the same time, they are constantly like riffing on jokes and kind of like talking back and forth. So it's not really broken up into like story and then puzzle and then story and puzzle. It's like you're doing a puzzle, but at the same time you're talking, things are happening. Like you get the next step of the puzzle, there's like a couple jokes, you move on with the other part of the puzzle. It's pretty well blended, so it's just kind of continuously back and forth, but it's about 50-50, I'd say.
Okay, yeah. Like, there's definitely still cutscenes I saw, and
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
like it pushes the story forward. My second question is: some of the people that we're looking at or playing it said that it gets pretty darn hard, like almost impossible at some of the puzzles where you have to do timing. So I'm not sure if you gotten far enough into it to see that, but they were, I think, pretty far in the game, and they said that the timing was really a little tricky for some of those puzzles.
Oh, I mean, very possible. I'm not that far into it. I would say I'm only in like the second or third level, something like that. So I've got most of the mechanics down, but I don't feel like the game has really fully like opened up all the way yet. I still feel like I've got at least half of the game to go. So it's very possible that there could be a late game difficulty spike. It has not been very I mean, it's been like a good challenging so far. I've had to really think about a couple of puzzles and really use my brain a few times, but the answers come pretty quickly, and I haven't really gotten stuck. So I mean, It very well could be coming up later, but so far have not gotten stuck.
That is that dreaded thing that we deal with in this podcast a lot, is that difficulty spike that sucks because I mean, right now from what you just said and the way that you said that the puzzles are, I really want to play it just for that comedy angle. So I might check it out. And it's really
funny. It's really funny. But, that's really the danger, right? Because most developers spend most of their time on the first half of the game, especially on the first quarter, and less on the back half. So it's very likely that it could have unbalanced difficulty spike or an unpolished section. That happens all the time. Yeah. And that's really the danger of, talking about games on a podcast where we try to have new content for the show. We try to play through a lot of stuff to keep it fresh for the listeners. And I can't guarantee that this is good all the way through, but the part that I saw, the first 2 or 3 levels, was real good. I mean, but again, it could totally nosedive, so you never know.
Yeah, I think the comedy will stay awesome the whole way through. So I think I'm gonna give it a try. Like you said, I think the demo is up on Steam, I'm guessing. So I'll check that out later.
Yeah, and check the eShop too. There may be a demo there. I don't know exactly sure. So the other quick hit I want to do real fast is, I'm sure you played this. A Short Hike. You played this already, haven't you?
Oh yes. Remind me what it is again.
A Short Hike is a very small game. It came out on iOS a while ago, and everybody in the world was like losing their minds over it. And I was a little bit jealous because I don't have an iPhone device anymore. I switched to Android, so I couldn't play it. And I'm like, I'm sure it's going to come to console sooner or later. And sure enough, here it is. It's on the Switch.
Oh,
you play a little bird, and you and your aunt are going to a mountain. And you can go anywhere in the mountain. It's got Breath of the Wild mechanics where you can go anywhere and climb anything, and you can also glide quite a bit. So it's really reminiscent of a microscopic scale Breath of the Wild in a little way. And you talk to people on the mountain that you meet. They do little quests for you. The whole point of the game is to get to the top of the mountain, and it's really not that difficult. It only takes you like an hour or 2 hours. But it's just like, it's kind of like a cross between Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing, I think. And you just walk around, and you can't die. There's no restarting. There's no danger. It's just like you're just vibing out in the woods, right? Talking to people, being chill. You're a bird, so you can jump off of anything that's high and glide around. The gliding is really good, feels really good. And you just talk to folks, and it's just like it's like an open world Breath of the Wild Animal Crossing is what it seems like.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm glad you got to play it. I didn't know it just dropped on Switch, but I will say this: also an equally fascinating watch is GDC talk with the developer of that game. It's called Crafting a Tiny Open World: A Short Hike Postmortem. So just put that into your YouTube, and you'll get to hear the developer talk about how he made it and how early playtesters kind of like broke it because they were going like different ways that he wanted them to go on the mountain. It's a really fascinating talk, so check that out. And yeah, great pickup.
Yeah, it's really well put together. It's cute. It's a really quick play if you want it to be quick, but there's more stuff to dig into if you want to play it a little bit longer. It's open, and you can certainly sequence break a few things, but I think it's supposed to be. I mean, maybe after he had his playtesters break it, he figured out other ways to fix that, but it feels really good. And the writing, 2 games in a row where the writing is really good. It's funny. Yep. It's very current and modern. It feels fresh, witty, but not like smart alecky. It hits a really good tone, and I really enjoyed all the conversations in that game. So again, writing really matters. Like, don't ignore the writing in your games, developers. But yeah, a short hike, definitely a big thumbs up. I dig it.
Thumbs up for me too. That's really cool.
All right, those are my first 2 quick hits. Carlos, let's turn it over to you. You've got a little bit to say about a little game called Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I didn't think I would be saying this on this podcast, but I'm going to say it. My little preface is that game is an RPG. You must have heard of it by now. I don't need to tell you what it is.
I think everybody in the world's probably heard of it by now. It's pretty big.
It's pretty big. And it's got a lot of similarities to games that I love, like Baldur's Gate, and old school games. Like, it kind of harkens back to Ultima in the fact of some of the things you can do. You feel like, hey, if I can do this thing with this item and mix it over here and dig this ditch and do this thing, it's just a lot of possibilities in an RPG. Like other RPGs don't have, where you feel like you can kind of do a lot of different approaches to anything, which I love. That's the main reason I love the Ultima series. The problem is I finally went back into it because I put it off a bunch of times, and I was like, why did I put this off? This is right up my alley. Ultima RPG, come on, this should be like my jam. So I went back and I realized why I put it off is because in the very beginning, the talk about difficulty spike. Mm-hmm. I don't think you've played this, right?
I've played a little bit of Original Sin 1, not Original Sin 2. So okay. I have a ballpark idea of what you're talking about.
Right. But in this one, again, the very beginning makes you feel great about the potential to loot anything, to handle things however you want in this world, and really feel connected to the characters, and a lot of good role playing, which is great, like D&D style. And there's no difficulty. It's just like exploring a world and feeling good and, picking your characters. And then at some point, that spike is fucked up because you're like level 2 or 3, and you go and you find like basically have to find a way out of this town. And there's multitudes of ways to get out. But one of the ways, and probably the easiest way, is to go into this cave and get out the other side. But in the cave, there's fire slugs. And these fire slugs are like level 4 or 5. They're above you. And they like burn you. And they're fucking impossible. And then at the end of it, there's like a mother slug and it's like a boss. And you're like not even fighting regular monsters yet. You're like just learning about everything and leaving a town. That's fucked up. So I couldn't beat that. So I found another way. And I kind of, curtailed out of the way and got some other way through a dungeon. And got to like another forest area where I was like, okay, now I'm going to start the game. I'm going to level up like RPGs do, where you feel a little bit, stronger after killing a bunch of monsters. The first main area I get to is two people. One's a wizard and one's just a regular, bad guy. And they fuck me up. Like, done, dead. And so, okay, I don't go that way then. So then I went around them and went this other way. Pretty much the only other way you could go in this forest. And there was these bugs. They're called Void Woken, and they're part of the story. And there's like, there's a couple bugs. Okay, well, I'll take out these Void Woken. So I start fighting the bugs, and like 15 other bugs show up. So fuck this game, because I can't get out. I can't get out of these main areas, these simple beginnings. The difficulty spike is fucked.
That sounds really weird, dude. I mean, I have not played this particular game, but I mean, I know kind of like what kind of game it is. Like I said, I played the first one, so I kind of feel it on this a little bit because I hit a spike where I was like, okay, this is like not something I want to get over. But it sounds like you're right at the beginning. By any chance, not my favorite recommendation, but have you ever looked up like a starting guide or beginner's guide to see like what they recommend? Maybe there's something you're overlooking, or maybe there's some kind of trick to it or something.
Brad Galloway's like, listen, Carlos, just go to YouTube, and there's these things called walkthroughs.
I mean, I hate doing that, but for something that, I mean, a lot of people say it's a great game, and I have heard people say that there is a difficulty spike. I'm just thinking sometimes, you just don't click with the game. You need a little something to get you over the hump, and then maybe you can find the fun after that.
Yeah, it's not like I won't. I'm already on another game, which we'll talk about in this episode.
All right.
But I'm basically saying, like, I can't believe more people aren't talking about this because I know my way around an RPG of this nature. This is like my favorite style of RPG, one of them, and I did all the tricks. Like, unless there's some like special trick on a YouTube video, but then that means your game's fucked. Because if someone who's like in quotes an expert at these types of games needs to go to YouTube to figure out this like workaround, then it's not good. Like that's
I mean, I agree with you, dude. I'm 100% on your side here, but I mean, you are a person who plays a lot of these games, and it just seems to me like I've had that similar experience with other games, not with this one, but you know, there's been a few times when it's like I beat my head against something, I struggle, and then I just get mad and I look at a walkthrough, and then it's like, oh shit, I didn't know XYZ did this thing, and now that I know this, then the whole game is playable. And again, not necessarily that it's your fault. Maybe the mechanic wasn't explained. Maybe they just like gave you a very cursory explanation and didn't go into it, or maybe you didn't talk to the guy who tells you the tutorial or something. It just seems like, you know, you're such a pro at these games. It seems like maybe there's just something the developers forgot to mention, or who, you know, it could just be a little thing like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, here I'll tell you two more things because I didn't even expect to talk about this long. One, to that point...
This is so video games. Have you been on this show before?
I have been on this show, yeah. To that point, I don't think that's the answer because of these two things. One, there's something wrong with how they dole out experience, and that really might be the main problem here. It's because I did like just regular side quests that were no fighting, and it was like just a dialogue type quest, right? Like, go find something for me, bring it back, whatever. And then all of a sudden I got like 1,500 experience points. And I was like, whoa, and it went up a level. And I'm like,
cool.
Oh, I see. They want me to do a bunch of boring things to level up my character so that I'll be ready or something. But even if I did all of the things in town, I still wouldn't be as strong enough. And also, that's bullshit because if it's an RPG of choice, you're not giving me choice. You're saying, no, you have to do all of the talkie quests that are in town. Where any other RPG, and you know this, those are optional. Like, if you want to grind, you can do any sort of millions of quests in RPGs. This is basically telling me, and that's why I'm telling you I think it's different, that if you want to beat the fire slugs, you probably should have done, like, the King's Quest and that one guy who ran away and the other bullshit and went back down to the river where you first started this game and found a quest there. Fuck that. That's, like, that's done wrong, okay? And then the second part of that is I feel like even if I get around this part that I'm in now with these fucking bugs that keep showing up, this is the kind of game that's going to happen again. This is not a boss, Brad. You know what I mean? Like, this is not even
It's just like a hallway to walk through.
Yeah, so that's why I'm out. I think I'm out because whatever trickery I could do to get past these bugs and all that other stuff, it just is not right. So, but I will say this. The coolest part of the game is in the beginning of the game, there's a cat that starts following you around. And there's a skill, you know, talk to animals. And
you can talk to them, yep.
Yeah, I didn't get it, right? I just, like, let the cat follow me around. So at some point, we found some guards, and the guards shot the cat. And I was like, oh, hell no. So I reloaded the game and kept reloading it anytime the cat died. And I needed to rescue this cat because fuck that. No one's going to kill a cat on my watch. And so we got out of town with the cat intact, and the cat said, because one of our people at some point could talk to animals now, you know? And the cat goes, thank you. I will now become an ability for you. See you later, ta-ta, and disappeared. And so now I can call on a cat, like, anytime I want.
Anytime you need to get a quick snuggle in, or what? What does he do?
Oh, he, like... Yeah, he just purrs a lot.
He just shows up and walks around your ankles a few times and he leaves?
No, he can, like, jump around for you and retrieve items, and also you can swap places with him, so, like, he can kind of magically teleport you places.
Oh, okay.
So it's a really cool thing, and there's so many interesting systems there, but also I'm out.
Well, you know, I bought this game a while ago. It was on a pretty deep discount on PSN. I have it on PS4. Have not even started it. I just saw it. I heard good things. I bought it because it was really, really cheap. And I had a couple extra dollars that particular weekend. So I guess I will move it down a few places in my to-play list. It seems like not a ringing endorsement from you there.
It's just the difficulty. I mean, I would really still be, like, you know, all the way in with it. But by the way, anyone listening, if there's, like, again, some special thing that I'm totally fucking missing, tweet me.
If you have Fire Slug advice, hit him up on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next game, Descenders. This is a Downhill, I mean, I guess it's got roguelike elements. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember playing this on Xbox One a while ago. You're on like a BMX bike going down a hill, racing. There's ramps and a lot of trees. I remember a lot of trees and procedurally generated courses, and you're riding your bike real fast. That is what I remember from Descenders, and it just came out for PS4. Yeah. It seemed like a while ago since I played this on Xbox One. I'm not sure what the holdup was, but it's finally on PS4. I think it may also be on Switch, if I'm not mistaken. But you have just been playing it recently, Carlos, on PS4. Tell us about Descenders.
Yeah, they did a lot of upgrades. I played it on Steam. I think I bought this or backed it like early on. I'm a big sucker for the extreme sports games that I'm glad to see are coming back. Right now in my queue and PS4, when you pre-order a game, it just sits there and says, 3 days before it unlocks, which, by the way, is such a new thing, but that's just how video games work sometimes now. One of my things that are going to unlock in about 4 days at the time of this recording is Tony Hawk, the remake of 1 and 2.
Yeah. So,
these are kind of back here and there, and I saw a bunch at Gamescom as well. As a side note real quick before I talk about Descenders, Lonely Mountain Downhill, which we also like, or Lonely Mountains Downhill, has some DLC coming out that just got announced.
I had no idea it was having DLC. What kind of DLC is it?
You go to an island, and there's like volcanic eruptions and stuff, and craziness ensues. And we talked about the game on our show. It's just random eating shit all over the place. You fall and bail out. And it's really funny.
Just to be clear, folks, it's actually like a bicycle game. It's not actually about eating shit, in case you didn't know.
Does no one say that anymore?
I mean, I think they do. I think just we needed a little more context in there for people to know what it was.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I said it the wrong way. I do that sometimes. In Lonely Mountains Downhill, you like go down a hill kind of, again, any way you want. There's not really a main path. And it's really fun when you make it. And then it's also really fun when you don't and you bail and you're bike slams into a tree. So that all said, I like those games. Check out Lonely Mountains Downhill DLC. But Descenders is one I backed. I loved it, and I'm really happy to have it on my big screen TV, playing it on PlayStation 4. They did a bunch of upgrades that all of them are really good. There's basically like a career mode, and you can essentially go into these different maps and try to unlock stuff, like every game of this ilk. But what's really interesting is you go to, let's say, an area, and it shows you a map, an overhead map. And there are all these different paths you can take. So it's a little choose your own adventure that way. So one path might be, it tells you what it is. So it's like curvy, stunts, and easy. And the other one's like super fast downhill. And the other one's like big jump or something. So you can pick which one you want to do. And then once you get to that and you complete it, then 3 more paths open up. And so you're basically going through the map that way. And it's kind of an interesting discoverability that way, where you're like kind of finding what's on the map. And so say sometimes you eat shit and you crash a lot. You can actually go to a certain place in the map that's like a medic. And so you actually will get some of your health back. Essentially, you can only get hurt so many times and then it's game over. So if you're like low on health, you can decide, okay, I'm going to take this little path and go get health. If I win the race, or if I win this, survive this little race down. Again, there's no other bikes on the path. The race just means like you're just going down this hill.
And remind me, is every single section of the mountain, is it timed, or is it just you just have to survive without wrecking too much?
They're kind of different ones. Like some have like you have to do it in time. And the daily challenges are like that. They have those as well. But most of them are just like, don't eat shit. Yeah. Again, to really bring that home, I don't know what I was going to say. It's really to
really emphasize that shit should not be eaten.
Yeah. So it's super fun. And I'm pretty sure all that stuff wasn't there in the original. Like, it made it so much more interesting to tackle the maps. And on top of that, this is the coolest part. There's bosses on each map, and you have to actually tackle the boss before sunset, because essentially time goes by as well. So you can do like maybe 3 or 4 maps, or 3 or 4 races on this map before the sun goes down. And before the sun goes down, you need to go and tackle the boss. The boss is usually just like one really big jump, like something that's like fucking like terrifying. And what a really cool way to make it a boss in that game, because I got to the boss on one level and it was about to be sunset, and I did the regular course, and all of a sudden it went to this huge hill, and then I went down and I saw in the distance there was this massive ramp, and it was going over these train tracks, and I was like, fuck me. And of course I ate shit the first time. And then the second time I made it and I cleared it and I fucking jumped over and did a trick at the same time over the top of a train, and I beat the boss and I felt really good. So this game is fucking fun.
Man, I played it right when it first dropped on Xbox One, and it was pretty early at that point. I mean, probably more advanced than when you backed it on PC or whatever. But I remember playing it and feeling like, oh, this needs like 6 more months in the oven. And I was going to come back to it. But then, like a billion games came out between now and then, and I kind of forgot about it. But now that I'm hearing you talk about it again, I'm pretty sure I still have it on Xbox One. I don't think it was a Game Pass thing. I think I bought it or I have it or something. I may go fire it up after this, because this makes me want to play it again.
Well, it's perfect like Lonely Mountains Downhill as well, where you can just play it quickly and be done with it, right?
A couple runs and move on.
Oh, yeah.
Totally,
I mean, that's
totally
what it's made for. They also have created cracks. They have creative crack, and it's a drug you can buy when you go down the hill. No.
Create a crab, and I'm like, well, I like crabs.
So what I meant to say... There's a store in the game where you can get creative crabs and creative crack, and it helps your character. No, it's really, really easy to play like a custom track, like so people can make their own tracks.
Oh, and you like upload and share that kind of thing?
Yeah. And then there's also practice, like in the main hub area, you can just like go fart around, and like there's tons of hills, and you can go pretty much, a really big area. And by the way, in the main area, you usually see 3 or 4 other people.
Real people, or are they AI?
Real people.
Oh, okay. So it's like an online lobby sort of thing?
Online lobby, and they're just like popping in. And by the way, I'm sure there is some sort of multiplayer. I didn't even play it. I think there's probably something, because obviously why would they have all those people just running around the lobby? So I feel like I'm a bad reviewer because I didn't look at that part. But I will play it again and get back to you on this show. But other than that, my only gripe with it, and then we'll move on, is that in that lobby, in that kind of like fun general area where you can just jump around, whenever you crash or like really eat shit, they reset you at the middle of the map. They don't just reset you where you fell.
But you're in a lobby? What do you mean? I don't get it.
Okay, so it's so dumb. So the lobby area is outside, right? It's just like this little place with tables and stuff, like a picnic area, right?
Okay.
And there's like all these little tents and stuff. And then if you got to go to the right or left, and you go to the big hills, like the fun stunt tracks, and you just go fart around and play. But the minute you like bail over there and you crash, they reset you to the middle of it.
So you're back to the beginning of the lobby area?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
It's that big? It's like a hassle to get back?
Yeah. I mean, well, also because you're in the momentum. Like all these types of games, you just want to start right over again,
Sure.
So I don't know if the developer's listening, because I gave him a bunch of praise. I'll tweet it out.
He'll definitely be listening for sure. I'm going to send him a link to the show, so he will guaranteed be listening.
Listen, all you need to do, it's an easy patch. I'll do it for you. Okay, I don't know if it's easy.
I don't know if it's that easy, dude. Don't make a promise that your buddy can catch.
I think it is, though. All you got to do is hear me out, developers. If I use this voice, all you got to do is when you crash in the lobby area, okay, just restart immediately where the player is. That's all I'm asking.
All right, we will pass that particular feedback along to the publisher and developer. We will let them know that is a requested fix. If that fix happens, it's because of you.
Thank you.
Here tonight on the Videogames podcast.
And by the way, everybody just pick this up. It is so fun and relaxing. I just love it. I play it almost every day now.
All right. Excellent. That is a big thumbs up for Descenders, and I'm going to have to go and check it out again. Seems like it's come a long way since last time I looked at it, so I will definitely pop back in for a quick ride.
Cool.
All right, moving on. I have a couple more quick hits here, also on Switch. First one, Raji, an ancient epic. I did not talk about this last episode, did I, or did I? I feel like I did not.
No.
Okay, let's pretend like I didn't. This was one of the featured games in the Nintendo showcase that just happened a little while ago, maybe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
The one they just dropped on us out of nowhere, which I love.
Yeah, I do kind of dig that when they make an announcement and then at the end of the announcement they're like, and it's available right now.
Oh,
I love that. That's great. I love it. So this was again Raji, Ragi, an ancient epic. This was coming to us from developers from India. This was based on Indian folklore. And you play a girl whose brother is kidnapped by some demons, and you need to go and rescue him. Watching the trailer that they showed on the Nintendo showcase made it look very much kind of like a cross between old school God of War with the perspective kind of pulled back, third person, but not really behind the back, kind of side view. Also, reminded me a lot of like old school, not old school, but like mid school Prince of Persia, like the Sands of Time era when Ubisoft kind of rebooted it, where there's like a lot of like wall running and acrobatics and you're jumping off stuff. Like that trailer sold me like immediately, dude. I'm like, oh yes, I totally want to play that. That looks good. And plus, like, you know, being from India, I'm always open to like developers from other countries. I'm really curious to see what they come up with and what their take on things is. So I'm like, yes, I'm down. So the publisher was kind enough to send me a code. Full disclosure, I got a code for this one. And I started playing it, and I gotta say, it is a train wreck and a half. It is terrible. It is terrible. And I don't say that disrespectfully. Like, I know that a lot of people in India worked real hard on this. They seemed like very nice people on that trailer on the Nintendo show. Like, I really want to support developers in other countries. But man, this game is just not good. I mean, part of it is that the storytelling just does not start off on the right foot. I'm a Westerner. I fully admit that, right? And I don't know very much about India, Indian history, or Indian folklore. And I mean, maybe if I was in India, this would have landed with me a very different way. But like when the game starts, it's just like a lot of like folklore fairy tales that I'm not familiar with. And there's like a lot of names, a lot of stuff that doesn't mean a lot to me. And they just kind of roll through it really quickly. And at the end of it, I'm like, it just kind of washed over me, you know, like none of it really connected. I didn't really get a sense of who my character was. It just didn't feel like a really great way to start. Not a good thing to ground your game in. So I didn't really click with the story at all. And then as the game begins, the platforming is like, okay, like it's a little loose. It's not really super tight. And there's not a whole lot of it. I kind of thought I would like more, but you really quickly get to combat. And combat seems to be like the overwhelming bulk of the game, which is a problem because the combat is really bad. The hitboxes, I couldn't figure them out. The priority for hits I couldn't figure out. It just seemed like you were kind of button mashing and the computer would sometimes just bulldoze through you and hit you when they shouldn't have hit you. And sometimes it seems like you should hit, but you're not hitting, and the perspective is not great, and you're just kind of just like wandering around and trying to fight these really generic looking enemies in these little combat arenas. Like you get into a level, right? And let's say like you're doing some wall running, you jump across a gap, you get into a little area, and then a little like circle appears around you, and you can't leave the circle, and you got to fight this monster inside a circle. It's like that kind of like really old school, you are trapped in this space and you cannot leave until you beat this monster. It's like really old school design, dude. Like I feel like the industry has like long ago moved on past that. So that was not great. And it just does not feel good to play. Like the mechanics don't feel good. Combat doesn't feel good. Monsters have way too much life. I was doing some of the early battles like 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 times in a row, just trying to get past them. And it just did not work for me at all. Looked great in the trailer. That trailer is killer. Anybody curious about this can watch that Nintendo trailer, and I'm sure they will be as sold as I was. But it just goes to show, like, you know, you really got to get your fundamentals dialed in. And if your game is all about combat, like this one is, that combat has to feel really good. You know, it's got to feel wonderful. And it just did not feel like it was anywhere it needed to be. So I bounced off it really quickly. Did not have a good time with it. Did not like the story. Did not like the combat. And there was not nearly enough platforming for my taste. In the bit that I saw, did not finish it. So bounced off really quickly. Very sad face on that one.
Yeah, I feel like I was like, I'll give an alternate review and check it out anyways. But the combat has to be good. Like that's the part that scares me away.
It is bad combat. Like if you're attacking a monster and you're not sure if you're gonna hit, and you're not sure if your hit's gonna hit first, and you just keep getting like, it's the kind of game, like for example, it's so unpolished. Like there's these monsters that spit bullets at you, right? And any good game with monsters that spit bullets will have that monster pause long enough for you to close the distance and hit that monster. Not so in this game. This game, the monsters just spit and spit and spit and spit and spit, And it's like you can easily get like trapped where you just can't break out of that cycle and get a hit in. Or if there's 2 or 3 monsters in an arena, any good combat game will like give you, you'll take a couple hits for sure as punishment, but they will let you get back on your feet and get a breather. Not so in this one. If you get you can get stun locked by like one guy hitting you, knocking you down, and you try to get up. The other guy on the other side hits you, knocks you back down. You can't get back up. It's that kind of stuff where it's like, that's old school, really bad 3D combat, and we figured that stuff out a long time ago, and it feels like the developers are still playing catch up. So no disrespect to them. I mean, they're clearly on a learning curve. I feel like the visuals are pretty good, so they've got that going for them at least. But it's not anywhere near where it needs to be, like mechanically.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's a bummer. One more quickie from me, and then we're going to finish big with your game here. Just a quick shout out to Runestone Keeper right now on the Switch. I played it on, I want to say Xbox One. I'm pretty sure it's on like literally every system known to man. It is a dungeon crawling. I guess it's an RPG. It's kind of like a weird roguelike dungeon crawler, but it's almost like Minesweeper in a way, where your character is just like a little icon, and each dungeon is just like a room full of squares, like in a checkerboard, and you gotta click on each square, and sometimes it's a monster, sometimes it's nothing, sometimes it's treasure, and as you go through these little quote-unquote dungeons, you will, pick up gold, you'll level up your guy, you'll get some new powers, you'll get some random loot, because it's kind of like a roguelike. You'll get like a good sword, or you get like magic spell that you didn't have last time, and you just kind of keep playing until you either get to the end of the game, which I have not gotten to the end of the game, or you die, and I have died. But it's kind of neat, and it's kind of interesting. The tutorials could be better. I feel like they don't explain everything to my satisfaction, but once you get into it, it's kind of neat to see a roguelike of this kind, where it's just very simple. Everything you need to see is on one screen, and it's all just about like managing these little squares on a board. It's kind of like Minesweeper, but a roguelike, and there's also an RPG element to it. Very unusual, but also very interesting. I've been plinking away at it a little bit every night. Have not gotten super far, but I kind of dig what it's doing, and I'm going to keep chewing on it for a while.
Yeah, it looks like a puzzle game, really.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle game / Minesweeper / roguelike. It's weird.
Yeah, it reminds me of there's another game I played. We played so many games. I can't remember which one this was, but it was similarly tile based, and each move each square you went to was either a monster or a treasure. I feel like I've played a game like this before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, it's great though. It's nice in like short bursts. So
totally. If you want a roguelike, but you don't want a whole bunch of stuff to manage, like it's pretty simple. It's pretty streamlined. But there's enough depth to it to where it's pretty interesting. I mean, I've gone 3 and 4 and 5 floors down, and I'm pretty into it. It does get tough at times, and sometimes luck of the draw gets you, and you get a bad round or something. But
yeah, so
far I kind of dig it. It's a nice alternate take on roguelikes, and the Switch, as we all know, is home to all the roguelikes in the world right now, and this is a very, very different kind of a roguelike. So I think it's pretty cool.
Cool. I'll check it out actually, because I do like short, quick hits. That's what we do on the show sometimes.
Quick hits.
Before we get to my big game I want to talk about, I just remembered I wanted to mention this game that might get you angry. If you want to Google it, I know that you'll get angry at the artwork, so that's why I just want you to look at it.
All right, what is it? I don't know. This is not on the script, folks.
It's not on the script. It's off script. We're going off script. It cost me $2.49 earlier today. I picked it up, and it's $5 on Steam. It's called Death's Hangover, and it's basically a breakout / Arkanoid game.
Dude, I just bought this last night.
Did you?
I literally just bought it last night.
It's similar to Devil Crush or Alien Crush or TurboGrafx and those kind of like pinball games where you're also like fighting monsters.
It looked a little bit like Strikey Sisters. Have you played that?
I haven't played that, no.
Strikey Sisters is similar to this, also on the Switch. It's really, really hard though. But I looked at this, and it was like $2.49. I'm like, okay, that's totally within my gambling range. So I'm just gonna like roll the dice and see if there's any good. I haven't started yet though. Tell me what you think about this.
Well, I'll tell you what I think about it, but aren't you like just viciously angry at the art?
I kind of am. I kind of halfway am vicious about it. But I am also intrigued because the art was turning me off, but the gameplay screens were kind of turning me on. So I was kind of like hit or miss on this one.
Yeah, that's what made me do the big $2.49 purchase was what this game is. And I have good and bad news. Mainly it's good news, but I'll start with the bad news. That art is ridiculous.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Like it's kind of almost like meme-y. Like 4chan-y slash wannabe anime kind of style art, and I think it wants to be that. So I almost can't fault it for what it's doing, because I don't think they're trying to be better than what they drew. Especially when you see or read some of the cutscenes, they're just I don't want to say they're phoning it in, but I think they're like on purpose not trying.
Okay.
Like all the cutscenes are like ridiculous, like silly.
Which can be a mood if you're in the mood for that. I mean, I kind of got that vibe off it. It didn't seem at all like a serious game.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think they give a shit, which is actually, I guess it isn't a bad thing. So the good thing is, I love this style of game, and it doesn't exist really, I think, anywhere. And if someone's listening, let me know. But it's essentially Arkanoid or Breakout. So young people don't remember what those games are, but they're basically, I've never had to describe that before. There's a little ball at the bottom of the screen, and usually you have to like break things at the top of the screen. And then in this type of game, it has that RPG or like story element. So you have to break down a door that's at the top of the screen and have the ball leave the area, and that will bring you to the next area. Does that make sense?
I mean, I think it's one of those games where if you just YouTube like Arkanoid or Breakout, you will understand it within 2 seconds, but trying to explain it is kind of complicated.
I know, I don't think I can do that.
If you guys don't know what that is, Breakout, Arkanoid, anything like that, look it up. You'll be like, oh, got it.
Got it.
Like 2 seconds.
So you shoot a little ball, you break things at the top, right? And in this one, it's got elements of, there's a really good pinball game that's like this, where you fight monsters with a pinball thing at the bottom. And I forgot what that's called, but it's really good. And yeah, you're these two, I guess, demons that got turned into women for some reason. And Death, I guess, has a hangover, because that's the name of the video game. And he wants you to do something, and I think Satan's involved in some way.
This sounds terrible. Death turned 2 demons into women, and he wants them to do something. Well, you know what? That sounds like a joke about to happen.
Well, they make a joke about themselves, because they're like, the first cutscene is like, look, we have boobs.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
oh, no, please don't say more of these words. And so, okay, that aside, and the cutscenes aside in general, the gameplay is very fun.
Is it? It looked kind of fun from those screens, dude.
It's really interesting because you have power-ups on your little block, Essentially, it is a character moving a block on the bottom. So that little, like, the shield or whatever you have.
It's a bar, it's a cursor. Who knows what it is? It's something.
It's a character with, like, holding, like, a wall. And essentially, you can get power-ups just like you would in an Arkanoid game. And those power-ups can be things like your little block can shoot now. So now it's like a shooter with an Arkanoid game. And then on top of that, some of the power-ups are like you can catch the ball, which is very much like those old school games, and send it back. But the number one mechanic that's amazing, and I mean, it's just great. It's so simple. It doesn't have a cooldown. There's no like time for it. There's no stamina meter, but you can always speed up or slow down the ball at any time.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So if life is getting hectic, and there's monsters on the screen, and you're shooting things, and you're like, wait, let's fucking slow this ball down so I know it doesn't go past me and I can make the perfect shot. Or if there's no monsters on the board and you just want to like really time something right, like to make it go right into the hole that you want it to go into, you can slow down and you'll get that shot. I think I've used speed up very few times, but it is nice to kind of like destroy a bunch of stuff at once, and you can kind of speed it up that way. But it's so addictive, and the bosses work really well. There's like bosses at some point, and you've got to fight them. The first one I fought was a skull with hands, and it made sense. It wasn't cheap. It shot things at me, but I could dodge it and also, hit the ball at it. It's very good, man. Like, it's
okay. Surprise of the show. Surprise pick of the show. Death's Hangover. I'm very glad to hear you say this.
But the cutscenes are really whack. But I know they're probably trying to be.
Yeah.
But it's yeah.
That's the vibe I got. Looking at that art, it kind of tells you a lot about what you're in for. But those gameplay screens won me over, dude. I'm like, this looks like it's worth $250. And it sounds like, from what you're saying, it is definitely worth $250.
It's worth the $5 on Steam too. It's. I think it'd be worth a $10 purchase. I think it's okay, maybe that's too much. I think
that's
so.
4 times more than what I paid for it. I'm happy with $250. I'm gonna crack into this tonight.
It's worth $250 right now. It's worth $5 on Steam. I'll say that. Okay, let's just say that.
That's fair. For
what you're getting out of it, it's just really fun. And by the way, there needs to be more games like this because it's super addictive and fun, and doesn't always have to be about Death having a hangover. Let's just see some more of these come out.
Right on. Well, I'm really glad you brought it to the show. Surprise, unscripted, totally organic, out of nowhere. We just kind of pivoted towards deaths. Hangover. I'm on Switch. Are you playing on PC right now?
No, I'm playing on the Switch.
On Switch also.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, cool. Thank you for bringing that. I am very excited about that because literally bought it last night on a whim. But okay, enough about that. We have one more game to get to. You're going to finish big for the show here, Carlos. Wasteland 3 just came out recently. I have checked it out. I'm curious about it. People tell me it is similar to like an old school Fallout, or like one of those games, like a kind of a top-down RPG where there's lots of stuff you can do, lots of options, kind of similar to the one that we just talked about earlier, Divinity Original Sin 2. Yep. But this is just dropped like this week, so a lot of people getting into it. I hear it's a big game. I hear it's a really deep game. I hear it's kind of like a monster project. So that kind of cooled me off a little bit. I don't have time for that right now, but I am curious. Tell us what your experience with Wasteland 3 has been, and where are you playing? What platform?
PS4.
PS4.
Pre-ordered it. Was super excited. Got the Wasteland 3 theme on my PS4. And yeah, opening, as soon as it opened up, I guess it was like 9 o'clock Pacific time for us, when it was ready to go live. I started playing it. And yeah, the short version is I love it. And I'm totally addicted. And it's, easily supplants the Divinity Original Sin 2 in the fact that it's doing a lot of the same types of things in the game, but millions of times better. In general, Wasteland, by the way, is an old school RPG that I played because I'm 100 years old. Originally, when it came out on disc, motherfucking diskette, I played.
Let's pause here for 1 second, dude, because this was in PC land where I was not at that time, but right, you were. So just for a really quickie history lesson, I know that there is some crossover between the people who worked on Fallout and the people who worked on Wasteland. Was it Wasteland and then something happened and they lost the rights and they made Fallout, or was it Fallout, they lost the rights and then they made Wasteland? Which way did it go?
I think it's Wasteland Fallout. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right, because Wasteland was definitely before Fallout, because Fallout was more of an isometric view of this game is, right? Mm-hmm. Something that you are used to seeing, like a Baldur's Gate, Fallout 1, Fallout 2. Wasteland was definitely before, because it was like a what's it called? A first-person dungeon crawler style game.
Okay, kind of like a Dragon Quest sort of a thing.
Dragon Quest. No. Bard's Tale, like the original dungeon crawler. Like, remember Zenko I just mentioned?
Yeah. So right,
Dragon
Tile
Quest,
like the old school, like
yeah.
You see the enemies in front of you, and you see like your sword swipe, but you don't see yourself. You're looking at them. Okay,
that's what Wasteland was, and a lot of it was our own imagination, like filling in the gaps of what this game was.
The best video game, your own imagination.
Yeah, I think I played this on EGA graphics, motherfuckers, and EGA was not VGA. So VGA had, was it millions of colors, and EGA
no one even knows what those things mean anymore, dude.
Hundreds of colors. Basically, it didn't look good, but it was this really, really interesting world where some say it was one of the first open world games where you really could essentially go anywhere and pick any quest you wanted to do, and you could, early on, just like in Fallout 1 and 2, kill quest givers. You could kill anyone. You could do different things that weren't like that before in video games. And I remember just falling in love with that style of like, oh my goodness, an open world? What does this mean? And then it kept going with Fallout 1, which is the same type of thing. You could like literally take out a quest giver and just never do that quest. So these are the people who I've always supported and championed. I really enjoyed Wasteland 2. It had a difficulty spike that was pretty tough, going back to that again. But I am proud to say and happy to say Wasteland 3 does not have those difficulty spikes. It is very smart in how it gives you plenty of opportunity to level up and to learn the systems, and then it throws you into some deep waters. But the deep waters are also, because it's a Wasteland game, similar to a Fallout game, you can avoid them. A lot of things in this game that are too difficult, you can just go around and not do those quests. But backing up a little bit, it's Baldur's Gate meets XCOM. So that's what the style of game is. So for the most part, you and your party are running around like a Baldur's Gate game, an RPG, a Divinity Original Sin style game.
How many in your party do you have? Or what's the max?
Well, I'll tell you about it in a minute, because there's a thing about that. But your party is running around, and then when you do it in a combat, it goes into XCOM. Does that make sense?
Like with grid-based stuff in the ground and stuff?
Everything. Take turns, right? And it's a little It's a little difficult. It's not like just straight up action RPG. I mean, turn-based RPG. You do have to think about things. You have to think about what you would get exciting out of the strategy games that you like playing, like Desperado. You've got to think about your moves, but it's not super unforgiving. In the very beginning, you make 2 characters, so you can either pick pre-made characters or make your own. Of course, you make your own. Come on,
of course you do. Why would you not?
Why would you not? And there's very specialists. So there's a melee person, there's a sniper person, there's just a regular gunsmith person. You can specialize in so many things. It's crazy. But the idea is to kind of have a wide breadth of selection of people, so that when you go to an area, you've got to have some lock picking. You have someone who can do that. So you really have to think about that when you make your first 2 characters, and then very, very quickly you meet someone who recruits people for you, and then you make 2 more people. So essentially you can have 4 people at all times that are custom-made people that you made. And then you have 2 slots left over for when you meet new people. And so you can have
like pre-made people.
Yeah, pre-made people who are like real people in the world, and they have their own backstories.
Okay, so like predefined characters. So you have 4 blank slates, and then you get 2 created by the developers.
Right, but they're empty until you meet somebody where it makes sense, right? Which is so cool. That's exactly like great storytelling. Like I met this one girl, and she was like mad about these guys, the Dorseys. Fucking Dorseys. People who are playing the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Fucking Dorseys. But anyways, these Dorseys, it's like, let's call them bad guys for now. They went and stole some family or some friends, and this girl's like, I'm going to go with you. We're going to like get some retribution. And then now she's in our party. And so that's how it works, and you kind of can pick and choose. You also have a little bit of base building. So when you find people, you can recruit them, and they can go back to your headquarters and kind of set up a little shop there. And yeah, great storytelling. The combat is very fun. I never felt like cheated. No difficulty spikes. I felt any sort of problems or like fuck ups were my own fault. The combat is so fun. Like it's probably what you feel when you play Desperados 3. Is it Desperados?
Yeah, Desperados 3. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, the difficulty is different for some reason, and I can't get into that style. But this one, it just feels like it feels fair, but it doesn't feel overly hard. And I just feel like, I don't know, there's something about it. When a video game does combat right, like we were saying, when a video game does combat wrong earlier.
Yes.
This one does it right, and that what happens is as soon as I'm done with a fight, I'm like, oh, I want to do that again. Like, that feels great.
This is terrible. This is awful. I'm really mad at you for saying this, because I was putting this on my backlog, and I wasn't going to get to it until probably not even until next year, because I keep hearing it's a beast of a game, right? But it's like, what you're saying sounds totally up my alley. It's making me very excited, but I don't have time to play this game right now, but you're making me want to play this game, dude.
Well, then I'll make you more excited, because here's some other things.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
No, this is one of the coolest things. This is really, really cool, and I it's a whole little tangent. I have to go on it. So, at the beginning, when I first heard about them making another Wasteland, there was a trailer they put out with, I think it's a Genesis song, and it was a cover of an 80s song by the Genesis, I think, and it's some women singer, I forgot who did it, and it was so haunting and beautiful, and I was like, oh, man. Like when a song brings you into a movie trailer?
Sure.
And it just kind of sells it for you. So yeah. I was like, I was already excited, but this even got me more excited. Oh, wow. And so I start the game, and that song's not anywhere, right? And that whole chilling moment that I had isn't anywhere. And even some of the storytelling in the trailer isn't in the beginning of the game. And I was like, wow, this is a different beginning altogether. I hope some of the songs come back, because it was such a really cool, atmosphere. So I was kind of sad that song wasn't there. And all of a sudden, I would get into our first fight, like our first big fight, and a fucking song starts. It's not that song, but it was another like real song, something that like comes in and makes you feel the feelings. And it's similar to Red Dead Redemption 2. There was like a scene in that game where a song came in, and it was like a perfectly timed where the song came in to make me feel something about the characters. This was early on in the game, and then later on, maybe like 4 hours in, it happened again during a battle scene that was like a really taxing one on me, and I was like really, really tired and didn't know if I could make it. And a song came up, and just started playing. And so my tangent is, with movies and with video games, I'm guessing that it costs a lot of money to get the rights to songs. So maybe lots of times they pay for them for the trailer, and then in the game you never see them, or listen to them. But this one, they paid some money for some new songs, and it really makes a difference.
Are they boss battles, or they just kind of randomly come up, or
the first one came up during the first fight, and it really made sense. Like, it was like, ooh, this is like adding like mood to like where we are right now, that we have to fight these people. Maybe it's hard for me to explain it, really, but at the same time,
it sounds cool though. Like, do you feel like it was scripted, or do you feel like the game just randomly happened and it kind of just like hit you the right way? I mean, was it like, I guess, did it feel like you hit a high point in the story and therefore there was a song there, or was it just happened?
No, I think it was scripted. I mean,
okay,
again,
okay.
It's only happened twice, so it's not like, if it was random, it would be much more like often and random at times. But I feel like it was scripted because it was our first big fight. And another thing about this game that's great is that all the choices feel like gray, right? Like, you hear someone say something terrible about some people, and then you hear the other people talk terrible about them. And so you are always stuck in this like middle ground of like, what should I do? And so then when you have to fight people and kill people, sometimes you feel really bad, or like, definitely you have to want to save a lot in this game, because there's like one like escalated situation can be like, okay, now we have to kill everybody, and you might not want to do that. Like, a good example is I went to a nightclub, and there was these guys just having like a frat party, and they're like douchebags, and I was like, cool. I'm sorry, I went to the wrong room, and they started picking a fight with me, and I didn't say goodbye quick enough, and they're like, no, it's on. And I'm like, oh no, I've got to kill all of these frat guys now in this club, and of course then the guards are going to get mad at me, so I had to like reload it, Anyways, I bring that up because this game has so many possibilities, and it just feels so open, like a Wasteland original or like Fallout, and it's fucking great, man. It's like top game for the year for me already. It's like making my top list, dude. It's making my top list.
Dude, this is rough. Because I don't have time for a game like this, but it sounds like a kind of game that I want to get into. Damn you, Carlos.
Best of 2020. It's on my list.
All right, I'll have to see what I can do. No promises.
No problem.
To see what I can do.
It's
all right.
So fucking good.
Wasteland 3. That is a resounding yay from Carlos, and it is a goddamn it, I got to play this game now from me. Shit. All right, that's all the stuff we have in the script. Now, we did. I didn't have a lot of Gamescom stuff. Gamescom is happening right now, and the way that I'm interacting with Gamescom is I have like 94 million emails in my inbox that I need to sift through, and I just don't have the energy for it right now. So that's what I know of Gamescom. Do you want to dip into some Gamescom stuff real quick, Carlos? How you feeling on that?
I do, but why don't you send me like 43 million of those codes, then I'll use some of them.
Oh, I don't know that there's any codes in there. It's just like, hey, here's our game coming in 2021. Please watch our cinematic trailer. And I'm like, no.
Right.
No. And, like I try to watch some, and, I like to establish PR connections. If there's a cool game, I got to, reach out to somebody. Maybe they'll send me a code later on next year when the game comes out. But, like, a lot of these games are like, yeah, Q3 2021. Please read this thing and check out this developer diary. And I'm like, dude, no. Like, that is a million miles away. We are going to have an American Revolution before your game comes out. I cannot focus on your game right now. So
and then it might not come out,
then it might not. America might not be here.
Which, by the way, is another reason why I'm loving Wasteland 3, because it is definitely dystopian. It's definitely making me feel like, this might be a future that I have to fight in. So, like, I feel like I'm practicing my decision-making.
We're learning survival skills in Wasteland 3 for the upcoming America 2021. Yes.
Well, and also just like my decision-making, like I said. Like, if it's, me and you are in a foxhole and there's another person and they're acting a certain way, like, what do? Like, maybe they're, mean, but then we want to keep them around because they can help us, Who knows?
Well, if it's a frat dude, then my vote is kill him and we bug out.
Yeah, as long as there's a bunch of them and they're also in a nightclub and it's also, there's guards around. Anyways, I'm loving Wasteland 3 for that. But here's a couple quick hits from Opening Night Live, which is Jeff Keighley's show, which both these things are online right now. You can go watch them. Whenever this goes up online, you'll still be able to see them. Opening Night Live, Jeff Keighley's show, where he opened up Gamescom, and also Gamescom coverage on IGN, there's like 4 videos. Well, as of this recording, there'll probably be 4 videos. 4 days of events. Each video is 8 hours.
Oh my fucking god, dude! Who's got time to watch that?
Well, Carlos, a little bit, because what I do is I scrub through the video.
Sure.
And I just wait for trailers and stuff. So there was like a gazillion exclusive trailers. I'll just give you 8 things. Okay.
All right.
8 or 9 things.
Real quick.
These are from both Opening Night Live and Gamescom. Everybody just Google these when I tell you about them. Dragon Age has a new game coming out. That's all you need to know. They're working on it. They showed some footage.
All right.
That's all.
It exists.
It exists. Teardown. I've been watching this for a long time. This developer was working on a system that is fucking amazing and wasn't a game when I was watching it, and now it's a game called Teardown. I believe it's coming out the end of this year.
What are you tearing down?
Okay, all it is it's like super realistic physics, like a Minecraft-y, Lego-y type game, but everything reacts. Like sunlight goes through cracked holes in the wall. You can smash anything. Smoke, like fire, can catch the walls on fire. Smoke happens. All the systems react beautifully, and there's like a puzzle game in it. But it's really about to showcase the awesome physics.
Cool.
Okay, Teardown. Little Nightmares 2 looks amazing.
Oh, I loved the first one. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, it looks spookier than ever. It has co-op in it. Your little guys are holding hands and going through nightmarish things. Yeah.
Cute and spoopy.
And then Skywalker Saga, I had no idea that I would want to play that, but it's the Lego game that covers every single Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
You know, that can be addictive, you know, especially that's all of them. And it's comedy. Remember like Lego, what's the one where you're a cop?
Lego City Undercover?
Yeah. It has that kind of humor in it.
Gotcha. That was fun. That was a fun game.
Yeah. Also, what I'm going to probably download tonight, Struggling.
I'm playing that literally right now.
Okay. It's up for the Switch, and it's about it's kind of like body horror in a way, where it's like a fleshy thing that you move around the weird world and do puzzles. I don't know.
It is totally like 2D Octodad is what it is. 2D
okay, there
Octodad.
You go. Never mind. That's an easier way to explain it. And also 12 Minutes, which I've been waiting for a very long time.
Big buzz for that one.
It's a top-down view. Basically, you can do multiple different ways to solve problems, and multiple different outcomes can happen. Like someone could be alive, someone could die, you could make it out in a sneaky way, in a more of a abrupt way. That's a terrible description of it. Just
it's
Google.
got some big name Hollywood actors attached to it though for voice work, right?
Oh,
it's
Willem
got some
Dafoe.
real big stars. Yeah.
Willem Dafoe just joined on or whatever.
A couple, like I don't remember the names, but I remember there was 3 or 4 like really like top list people who were attached. Is this coming from Annapurna, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
12 Minutes. Anyway, just Google it. It looks really cool. The other couple are Scarlet Nexus, which a bunch of people were talking about. Action RPG, anime, crazy world, really, really weird monster design. It seems up my alley. And then also the Lovecraftian, was it Coranium? Conarium.
Yeah, that one's been out on PC for a while. It's actually been on PS4 for a while. Is it coming to the Switch? Is that what the announcement was?
And I missed it?
Oh yeah, I think I have it on. I bought it a million years ago, and I have not touched it yet. But it's on PS4, and is it the new Switch version you were looking at?
I don't know. They were just mentioning it at Gamescom, so I don't know.
It must be Switch, yeah.
Okay.
But it's been out for quite a while. I remember, I think Dan reviewed it for us at Game Critics. Yeah, I think he liked it. I think it was good.
You liked it, okay. Yeah, I got Lovecraft, and I'm watching Lovecraft Country right now, which is fantastic.
Heard it was good.
Yeah, I'm into that. The other one is Nazar, Son of Man, which is a side-scrolling Metal Slug game, but with like steampunk elements. And also like the Hand of God comes down every once in a while. I don't know why. It just looked really, really, the art looks amazing. So Naser, Son of Man. Just a few more. Madness. Stone of Madness.
That looks awesome. That looks like Desperados 3 plus like crazy insanity elements plus RPG story.
Right. Plus, basically, like really like dire situation. You're like people with nothing, and you're in a prison, and you need to escape.
Like
so
5
it's like,
mentally ill people trying to escape and manage their mental illness at the same time.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I want to play it.
Looks interesting as fuck.
And then also, which is out right now, I think this episode will go up maybe tomorrow. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. The demo's already over with. But there's a demo right now for free. It's called Just Die Already, and it's about old people in a sandbox where they just kill everything, including themselves, and it's really ridiculous, and it's brought to you by the people who made Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator. Yeah, I heard about this one. My son is very excited for this. He loves Goat Simulator. He's put hours and hours and hours into that fucking game. Didn't click with me, but he loves it, and he is very stoked for this one.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. Also, just a quick shout out to Dual Universe, because that's going to be an online Civilization game, which seems cool. Tinkertown looks like a Terraria, but with a different perspective. And lastly, Giants Uprising looks fun as hell because you're a giant and you're just smashing things. And like like a sim world, like kind of a Age of Empires type world, and like this big giant just smashing things.
And smashing is fun. It's always a good time.
Smashing is fun. It reminds me of Rampage. Remember Rampage?
I love Rampage.
Yeah.
That movie, actually, did you see the movie Rampage?
No, why would they make a movie?
Surprisingly, not awful. It was actually pretty good if you want a big monster movie.
I'm making an awful face. I don't want to see that.
No, it was good. If you want like a big kaiju monster movie, it was decent, man. It was not bad. I've seen worse, that's for sure.
Wow, crazy.
Anyway, all right, we got to wrap this up. I got to go. I think we have covered everything we're going to cover tonight. Folks, that is it. We got to wrap. Before we go, send us your questions and comments. SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @SoVideoGames, but you can also reach us individually. Carlos, where can people find you this week?
Yeah, I restarted my A Lot of Things podcast, which I've started and stopped 18,000 times. But for a while there, we had a good run, and we ran for like a few years. So it's back. It's me talking about a bunch of stuff that I don't talk about on this show, which is movies, music, a little bit of video games, but mainly like books, other things, shows. So anchor.fm /a lot of things, or just Google A Lot of Things and you'll probably find it.
Excellent. As for me, it is the same as usual. Instagram and Twitter, BRADGALLAWAY, all A's, no O's. And that's going to do it for episode 195, folks. Thank you again for joining us here on the So Video Games podcast. And we will be back before you know it. But in the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
And bye from Carlos, but also go check out the Dead Mall series on YouTube. It's fascinating.